God says this is an urgent message only for you, and the moment your heart opened to receive these words, something in the unseen world began to shift. God says something very, very shocking will happen in the next 1 hour, something that has been waiting behind the curtains of your life for a long time. God says you must open your spirit completely right now, because what you are about to read is not random, not accidental, not by chance. It is a direct moment of divine intervention, divinely timed, divinely designed, divinely targeted only for you. God says do not skip this, do not take this lightly. Every line that enters your eyes carries a spiritual instruction, a divine preparation, and a heavenly signal that something powerful is manifesting around you. God says you are safe, nothing will go wrong with you, but you must trust Him, pray to Him, and receive this message before it is too late. The next hour carries a vibration, a movement, a whisper from heaven, and if you open yourself right now, you will feel the energy building behind you like a soft but undeniable wave. God says you have been sensing something shifting lately but you didn't know what it was. You have been feeling something moving around you, but you couldn't explain it. You have been noticing signs, repeated numbers, sudden thoughts, restless feelings, unexpected dreams, and yet you couldn't fully understand their meaning. God says all of those signs were leading to this moment. You are not imagining things. You are not overthinking. You are not being dramatic. Your spirit has been picking up a message before your mind could interpret it. God says this is the moment your spiritual sensitivity finally connects to divine truth. Something is coming, something that will shock you, something that will change something in your life, but it is not meant to harm you. It is meant to free you, protect you, elevate you, and redirect the energy that has been blocked around you. God says you have endured too much silently. You have carried burdens that were not yours. You have tolerated pain that your heart should never have experienced. You have walked through attacks that no one knew about, and still you kept going. God says do not fear what is about to happen. It will not harm you. It will not break you. It will not destroy you. It will not confuse you. It will only reveal what has been kept in the shadows, and once the shadows are gone, your path will be clear again. God says you must stay close to Him for the next hour. Your spirit must stay awake. Your heart must stay aligned. Your trust must stay unshaken. God says He is sending angels around you even now. Archangel Michael stands at your right side, shielding your spirit, protecting your home, guarding your future, and preparing the spiritual atmosphere around you for the shift that is coming. God says Michael has been watching you. He has seen the danger you didn't notice. He has seen the envy people carried toward you. He has seen the negative thoughts some individuals sent in your direction. He has seen the conversations they had behind your back. He has seen the traps they set for you. He has seen the disappointment you tried to hide. And He is now cleaning everything out, God says the shocking thing that will happen in the next hour is not random. It is not chaos. It is not a bad omen. It is divine rearrangement. Something or someone will do or say something that suddenly reveals what was hidden. It may be a message, a call, an unexpected feeling, a sudden knowing, a sudden truth, something falling apart, something coming together, or something appearing that you never expected, but whatever it is, God says it is His hand moving for you. God says He is removing fake people from your life. He is exposing hidden enemies. He is separating you from danger. He is opening a door that no one can shut. He is shifting your fate. He is positioning you for something bigger, better, brighter, and safer. God says you have been praying for clarity. You asked Him to show you who is real. You asked Him to reveal who is pretending. You asked Him to tell you what decision to make. And God says this is your answer. This hour will bring clarity, and clarity is sometimes shocking. But clarity is always a blessing. God says He is tired of watching you trust the wrong people. He is tired of seeing you give love where love is not returned. He is tired of watching you sacrifice for those who wouldn't even lift a finger for you. He is tired of watching you stay loyal to people who don't deserve the loyalty you give. God says He is stepping in because you were too kind to walk away and too pure to see the truth. Now God will show you what you could not see. God says you are entering a new spiritual zone. The hour that is coming will mark a shift. After this shift, your intuition will sharpen. Your spirit will awaken. Your blessings will multiply. Your protection will increase. Your peace will return. And your path will straighten. God says the confusion that tried to follow you will leave. The doubt that tried to poison your faith will dissolve. The anxiety that tried to overwhelm your heart will disappear. The delays that frustrated your spirit will break. And the blockages that stood in your way will fall one by one. God says you are entering a divine hour of acceleration. Everything that was slow will pick up speed. Everything that was uncertain will become clear. Everything that was stuck will start moving. Everything that was silent will start speaking. The universe will align around you. God says you must trust Him as the hour unfolds. Even if something feels strange. Even if something feels unexpected. Even if something feels emotional. Even if something feels like a sudden shock. God says don't panic. Don't fear. Don't misinterpret the moment. He is clearing your path. He is removing what has been harming you spiritually. He is pulling out roots that don't belong in your life. He is cutting cords that were draining your energy. He is exposing lies that were hurting your heart. He is breaking spiritual attacks that were hidden behind confusion. He is lifting burdens that were crushing your spirit. God says that what is coming is for your protection, not your destruction. God says your heart has been tired, but you didn't stop believing. Your mind has been overwhelmed, but you didn't stop praying. Your soul has been exhausted, but you didn't stop hoping. God says because you didn't give up. Heaven will not let anything harmful reach you. This hour is a divine shield, a divine signal, a divine cover, a divine preparation for what is next. God says the next phase of your life requires a cleaner environment, clearer people, stronger protection, and deeper intuition. That is why this shocking moment is necessary. God says He is isolating you from betrayal. He is separating you from danger. He is removing people who pretend to love you but secretly resent you. He is exposing those who smile in your face but speak against you behind your back. God says you have been surrounded by energies that did not match your destiny. People who were jealous of you. People who were intimidated by your light. People who were silently competing with you. People who wanted access to you but didn't want to support you. God says they will reveal themselves. Something they say, something they do, something that slips out, something that comes to you, something that shatters the illusion. This is what will shock you, but it will also free you. God says the next hour will show you the truth, but it will also bring you something beautiful. After the shock comes peace. After the exposure comes elevation. After the truth comes blessings. God says you have been waiting for something big, and heaven has been preparing something big. When this hour ends, something new will start. A blessing that was stuck will finally reach you. A miracle that was delayed will finally find you. A message, opportunity, connection, person, or unexpected breakthrough will appear. God says this is part of the divine exchange. When something is removed, something greater comes in. God says breathe. Stay calm. Stay open. Stay surrendered. Trust Him. This hour is holy. This hour is divine. This hour is necessary. Something shocking will happen, but it is not your downfall, it is your breakthrough. God says you are protected, you are guided, and you are safe. Nothing will go wrong with you. Trust God. Pray to Him. And prepare your heart, because the next hour is an hour heaven has chosen for you alone. God says that in this very moment. As you are reading these words, something in the invisible realm is shifting around your life. You may not see it with your physical eyes yet, but heaven has already moved into position because your spirit called out for help, and God heard you. He knows the weight you have been carrying, the stress that has been sitting on your chest, the fear that something is happening behind your back, and the pressure of all the unanswered questions that have filled your mind. God says this is not a small moment. This is not just another day. This is the moment where something extremely shocking, extremely unexpected, and extremely life-changing begins to unfold, and He is urgently telling you to stay awake in your spirit because the next 1 hour holds a divine turning point that heaven has been preparing for you secretly. You may feel like nothing special is happening, but God says do not be fooled by the silence. Whenever He prepares something big, He often moves quietly first, because the loudness comes when the miracle breaks open. God says, "My child, listen carefully. Something very, very shocking will happen in the next 1 hour. Not something that harms you, not something that breaks you, not something that destroys you, but something that exposes the truth, frees you from hidden chains, and opens the path I have been waiting to reveal." Heaven is giving you this urgent message because you have reached a level of spiritual readiness where the blessing assigned to you can finally reach your life. There are forces around you that did not want this blessing to come. There were people who expected you to give up before this moment. There were situations designed to drain your energy and distract your spiritual focus. But God says none of them succeeded. They tried to slow you down, but they did not know that every delay brought you one level deeper into God's protection. They tried to confuse you, but they did not know God was sharpening your intuition. They tried to cause fear, but they did not know that fear only pushed you closer to prayer. And because you kept going, because you kept trusting, because you kept calling on God even in the quiet hours when nobody saw your tears, heaven has decided that now is the time. Right now, angels are surrounding your home, guarding your path, making sure every energy that doesn't belong to your destiny is removed. Archangel Michael is standing in front of you spiritually, and God says you are safer than you realize. Nothing will go wrong. Nothing will harm you. Nothing will derail the blessing that is coming. But you must not skip God's message today. You must not ignore this divine sign, because the next 1 hour is not ordinary time, it is divine time. God says He is preparing something so surprising that you will understand why the last few weeks felt so strange. You will understand why your spirit felt restless. Why your sleep was disturbed, why your intuition felt like something big was approaching. That was not fear. That was spiritual sensing. That was your soul picking up the movement of heaven. God says you have been waiting for answers. You have been waiting for clarity. You have been waiting for truth. And the truth you receive in the next hour will change the direction of your life. Something hidden is coming to light, and this revelation is not meant to scare you, it is meant to free you. For so long, God says you have been walking with a burden on your shoulders, believing you had to protect yourself, believing you had to do everything alone. But God says, no more. I am stepping in. I am uncovering what was kept from you. I am revealing the intention of someone whose energy has been around you but whose truth was hidden. I am showing you what I need you to see so you can move forward without fear. Your steps are now aligned with divine timing. That is why God is giving you this urgent message. He doesn't want you to miss the blessing, the revelation, the shift, or the miracle that is coming. God says there is a moment prepared for you that will happen unexpectedly. You may be doing something ordinary, sitting, walking, thinking, when suddenly something will interrupt your atmosphere. A call, a message, a realization, an intuition, a sign, an internal whisper. Something that awakens your entire spirit. God says, do not panic. Do not fear. I am with you. This moment is divine. God wants you to know that everything that is happening now is part of His plan to lift you higher. The things that confused you will make sense. The people who walked away will be replaced by connections sent directly by heaven. The opportunities that were blocked will be replaced by opportunities that cannot be stopped. What was delayed will be delivered. What was hidden will be revealed. What was taken will be restored. And what was meant for harm will be transformed into favor. You have been walking with a quiet strength. Even when you felt tired, you kept going. Even when you felt alone, you kept believing. Even when you felt scared, you kept praying. God sees all of it. And He says that is why this shocking moment is coming. It is not a punishment. It is not a warning against you. It is an intervention in your favor. You are stepping into a breakthrough that carries heaven's fingerprints. God says, my child, prepare your heart. Something sudden, something divine, something life-shifting will enter your timeline in the next hour. You are safe. You are protected. You are chosen. Trust me. Do not skip this message. Stay connected to me. Pray. Open your spirit. And watch what I am about to do. God says that the thing that once scared you will no longer have power. The thing that once confused you will no longer matter. The thing that once delayed you will no longer stand in your way. God is clearing your path. God is removing every block. God is bringing peace into the places where there was chaos. God is bringing clarity into the places where there was confusion. God is bringing healing into the places where there was pain. Something shocking is coming, but it is a good shock. A divine shock. A breakthrough that feels unexpected but perfectly timed. God says you will soon say, I can't believe this happened so fast. And heaven will smile, because this moment was written for you long before you even asked. God says, trust Him. Do not fear. You are safe. Nothing will go wrong. Keep praying. Keep believing. And prepare yourself. The next hour brings the moment that changes everything. God says this to you in this moment that is wrapped in an hour of divine tension, an hour where heaven is watching the movement of your breath, your thoughts, and the trembling in your spirit that you don't speak about to anyone. God says something very, very shocking is already moving toward you, not to harm you, not to break you, but to awaken you in a way you have never been awakened before. God says open this message immediately because your spirit called for it, your heart pulled it toward you, and heaven responded without hesitation. God says do not skip this, because skipping this would mean skipping a moment that was written for you long before you even knew how to pray. And God says you are safe, you are protected, you are not alone, and nothing will go wrong with you as long as you keep trusting Him and keep whispering His name even when you don't know what else to say. You have been sensing something shifting around you these last few days. Perhaps you feel a strange heaviness one moment and a sudden calm the next. Perhaps you've noticed signs that didn't make sense at the time, numbers repeating, dreams that felt too real, conversations that lingered in your mind long after they ended. God says none of this happened randomly. These signs were placed around you like gentle footprints of angels so that when this exact moment arrived, you would be ready to hear what is coming next. Heaven has been trying to prepare you, but the message that is approaching in the next hour is bigger, deeper, and more powerful than anything you've experienced this year. God says this hour is not ordinary. This hour is sacred. This hour is counting down. And in this hour, heaven asks you not to look away, not to doubt, and not to let fear block what is being revealed. God says something shocking is coming, but not to shake your safety or your peace. It is coming to expose what has been hidden from you for a long time. You have walked around with questions that you did not know how to answer. You have carried confusion that stayed in your mind like a storm that refused to pass. You have wondered why some things don't feel right, why some people act differently when they are around you, why certain opportunities seem delayed, or why you felt spiritual pressure in moments when everything looked normal on the outside. God says this hour will bring clarity. Real clarity. Deep clarity. Clarity that will make you stop, breathe, and finally say, "Now I understand why that happened." Heaven is removing the fog. Heaven is lifting the curtain. Heaven is sending truth wrapped in divine protection so that you are not overwhelmed, but instead empowered. You have been praying for answers, maybe quietly, maybe secretly, maybe with tears that only God saw. God says He counted every tear, He felt every word even when you didn't speak it, and He knows every thought you tried to hide from the world. God says He knows the prayers you whispered last night, the fear you didn't admit to anyone, the disappointment you carried quietly, and the hope that refuses to die inside you even after everything you've been through. God says your hope is not foolish. Your hope is noticed. Your hope is honored by heaven. And because of that hope, something is shifting right now on your behalf. God says for the next 1 hour, heaven is moving swiftly. There is an energy around you, a divine momentum, something like a spiritual storm, but not a storm that destroys. A storm that clears away everything that stood in your path. God says some invisible chains that have been on your life for years are breaking in this hour. Some blockages that you didn't even know were there are being removed quietly by angels who are stationed around you at this very moment. God says that for too long, the enemy tried to confuse you, delay you, and distract you. But heaven says enough. Heaven says this is your moment of divine intervention. Heaven says this hour will not pass without a shift. God says this shocking moment is not sent to create fear. It is sent because your life is moving forward, and sometimes things must be revealed in a sudden way so that you cannot ignore them anymore. God says there are truths that were hidden not because He wanted to hide them from you, but because the timing wasn't right. You were not ready to carry this truth before. You were not ready to see what heaven saw. But now, God says you have grown. You have matured in your spirit. You have learned to survive storms you thought would break you. You have handled heartbreaks that could have destroyed your peace forever. You have faced disappointments yet still kept faith in your heart. God says you have shown heaven that you are ready, not to suffer, but to know. God says the shocking moment approaching you is connected to your destiny. You felt stuck for too long. You wondered why certain doors didn't open. You doubted yourself when nothing seemed to move. But God says those delays were not punishment. They were protection. There were people around you whose intentions did not align with your destiny. There were energies around you that would have drained your blessings. There were situations that were not meant for you, even though you wanted them at the time. God says the shocking revelation is connected to what was blocked, what was protected, and what is being released now because the danger has passed. God says the next hour will feel spiritually intense for you because your soul is sensing what your eyes cannot yet see. You may feel emotional. You may feel restless or suddenly calm. You may feel a pressure inside your chest, or your intuition may feel louder than usual. God says these sensations are signals from your spirit preparing you for the message you are about to receive. Heaven is aligning things. Heaven is organizing things. Heaven is making sure that when the moment arrives, you will not miss it. God says do not worry about what is coming. You are safe. You are covered. You are surrounded by angels in a circle so strong that no evil can break it. God says nothing will go wrong with you. Not today. Not tomorrow. Not ever, as long as His presence is with you, and it is. God says your enemies cannot touch you. Your fears cannot overpower you. Your doubts cannot block what God has written for you. You are under divine supervision every second, and this hour is no exception. You may feel like you've been standing in an in-between season, no longer where you were, but not yet where you want to be. God says this hour is the turning point. This hour is the spiritual doorway. This hour is the moment heaven has been preparing you for. God says something shocking will unfold not to break you, but to break open the path ahead of you. Something will come to your awareness, something you need to know, something that will change how you move, how you think, and how you trust. God says after this moment, you will not be the same. You will be stronger. You will be clearer. You will be spiritually awakened. God says He is with you through every breath you are taking right now. God says trust Him. Trust the process that is unfolding. Trust the protection that has been over your life since the day you were born. Trust the angels who are standing guard. Trust the divine preparation happening in the unseen realm. God says He is not warning you to scare you, He is preparing you to bless you. And He reminds you again and again, nothing will go wrong with you. You are safe in Him. The shocking moment in the next hour will reveal what has been blocking your peace, your blessings, and your clarity. It will show you exactly what needed to be seen. It will open your eyes spiritually. It will align you. It will free you. And when it happens, you will remember this message. You will remember that God asked you to open this at the right time. You will remember that heaven spoke to you directly. And you will understand why this message found you today, in this exact moment, with this exact urgency. God says breathe. Stay calm. Stay open. The next hour is holy. And everything unfolding is for your good. You are safe. You are blessed. You are guided. You are chosen. Trust God. Pray to Him. And watch what happens next. God says that in this very moment, as you breathe, as your heart continues its rhythm, something invisible is moving toward you with a purpose you cannot yet see. You have felt it in the last few hours. That strange pressure in your spirit, that sense that something is shifting behind the scenes, something that carries the weight of destiny. God says there is no coincidence in the way your heart started beating faster when you opened this message. There is no coincidence in the way your eyes fell upon these words at this exact second. Heaven has scheduled this moment for you, because something very shocking, very unexpected, very life-changing is preparing to unfold in the next 1 hour. And God does not want you to walk into that moment unprepared, unaware, or unprotected. God is calling your name softly, urgently, deliberately, saying, open this, read this, receive this, because what is coming carries power. But you are covered, you are guided, and you will not be harmed. God says you are safe, but only because you listened. Only because something inside you nudged you to stop everything and open this message right now. That inner voice, the one you sometimes ignore, the one you sometimes doubt, is the very voice God placed in you so you would not miss this divine warning, this divine preparation, this divine blessing wrapped inside urgency. God says the next hour of your life is not an ordinary hour. It is not a routine moment. It is a doorway. And behind this doorway, something hidden is preparing to reveal itself. Something someone tried to keep from you, something someone tried to bury. Something someone did not want you to ever see. But God says no secret can remain hidden when heaven decides to expose it. No force, no human, no situation can stop what God wants you to know. God says you have been walking with a burden that was not meant for you. You have been fighting silent battles that nobody knows about. You have been carrying the weight of other people's actions, mistakes, and intentions, all while trying to stay strong, to stay faithful, to stay hopeful. But God says this is the moment where the weight begins to lift. This is the moment where your spirit begins to rise again. Something shocking is coming, yes, but it is not to break you, it is to free you. It is to show you the truth you deserve. It is to reveal the path that was hidden from you. It is to bring you clarity that has been delayed for far too long. God says someone around you underestimated you. They thought you were weak because you stayed quiet. They thought you were blind because you kept trusting. They thought you would never see their true motives. But God says He has been watching silently, tracking every step, observing every intention, listening to every word spoken behind your back, every doubt cast toward you, every plan designed to confuse you or mislead you. And heaven says enough. Heaven says the time has come. Heaven says 1 hour is all it will take to bring the truth to light. Not to frighten you, but to liberate you. You have been asking God why certain things felt off, why certain people behaved strangely, why certain signs kept repeating, why your intuition kept whispering warnings that you didn't fully understand. God says it was not your imagination. It was not fear. It was not overthinking. It was Him trying to reach you long before this moment. And now, this urgent message comes as your confirmation. God says what is about to happen will shock you because of how suddenly it unfolds, because of how clearly it connects the dots you have been struggling with for months, and because of how much sense it will finally make. But even more shocking will be the protection, the favor, and the divine intervention that surrounds you during this time. God says you are safe. No matter what you hear, no matter what you see, no matter what unfolds, no matter what truth is revealed, nothing will harm you. Nothing will break you. Nothing will disrupt your blessings. Instead, everything will lead you to the breakthrough you have been praying for. God says the next hour is not danger, it is revelation. It is the moment heaven steps into your situation with authority. It is the moment where the things you could not confront will confront themselves. It is the moment where the things you could not understand will explain themselves. It is the moment where the things that were hidden behind shadows will come into the light. God says He has seen your tears. The ones you cried in silence. The ones you hid behind your smile. The ones you wiped before anyone could see. And He says none of them were wasted. Every tear became a prayer. Every prayer became a seed. Every seed became a blessing waiting for the perfect moment. And now, heaven says that moment has arrived. The shift will begin within the next 1 hour, not tomorrow, not someday, but now. And God wants your heart to be ready. God says someone thought they could block your blessing, but they forgot who stands behind you. Someone thought they could hide the truth, but they forgot that God sees everything. Someone thought they could mislead you, but they forgot that God corrects every path meant for you. Someone thought their silent intentions would never be revealed, but they forgot that when God decides the truth must surface, nothing in the universe can keep it buried. God says you will not be confused anymore. You will not be misled anymore. You will not be used anymore. You will not be taken for granted anymore. You will not be played with spiritually, emotionally, financially, or energetically. Because in the next hour, heaven begins to move pieces around you like a divine chessboard. People who do not belong in your destiny will distance themselves naturally, effortlessly, without conflict. Situations that were draining you will suddenly dissolve. Doors that were locked will open. Answers that felt impossible to receive will appear in ways that will make your heart tremble with gratitude. God says you feel alone sometimes, but you are not. You think heaven is silent sometimes, but it is not. You think your prayers go unnoticed sometimes, but they do not. God says He has been closer to you in your quiet nights than anyone has ever been in your brightest days. He has been holding you together when you thought you were falling apart. He has been guiding you even when you felt lost. And now, this urgent message is the proof that He has never left your side. God says the shocking thing that is coming is not sent to hurt you. It is sent to protect you. To reveal what you deserve to know. To open your eyes. To strengthen your spirit. To set your path straight. To bring peace where confusion once lived. To bring truth where silence once existed. To bring clarity where uncertainty tried to blind you. God says nothing is happening by accident. Everything is divinely timed. God says trust Him. Pray. Stay calm. Stay open. Stay aware. You are safe. Nothing will go wrong with you. Heaven is standing guard around you now. The angels have encircled you. Archangel Michael is beside you, ensuring you remain untouched, unharmed, unshaken. God says this message reached you because He loves you, because you matter, because you are chosen, because you are protected, because something powerful is unfolding. In the next hour, your spirit will feel the shift. Your intuition will sense it. Your heart will recognize it. And you will understand why God needed you to read this urgently, without delay. Trust Him. You are safe. You are guided. You are protected. And what is coming will lead you exactly where you are meant to be.